This is my lovely patient here today. So I actually just saw her today. And after I finish, I'm just going to introduce her. And she's going to tell you her story, why she came here to see me, where she found me, all these types of various things. And what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to kind of give you a little primer, like if you could jump into my brain and see what I see. Okay. So I'm going to kind of, and I'll do the same analysis that I did for her during our consultation. Okay. So you can introduce yourself. And by the way, she gave me permission to state her age, but I'm not going to do it. So if she wants to, that's on her. Okay. But I didn't force her.
Okay, well, I don't mind sharing my age. I'm 57. And I came in today because I wanted to get a facelift and a neck lift. My jowls are bothering me, and I have these bands, and my eyelids, it's kind of hereditary in my family, but it's getting worse over time. And so I just want a refreshed look, and I want a sharp jawline. I don't want to see this. I want to look in the mirror. That's all I can see. And my neck and my pictures are starting to bother me, so I always have to edit. But anyway, I'm super excited. I came here. I had several consultations planned, but once I met you, I just felt very, very secure. And I'm so secure about just so many things that are added that I didn't even think about. And so I'm super excited.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. So I'm going to share with everyone out there what my thoughts about her are. So first of all, let me so she actually was one of the few patients that brought me photographs, and she showed me photographs of herself years and years ago. And I didn't say it out loud because that would have been unprofessional of me at that time, but she was a hottie, dude. So it was great because I get to see what her goals are. She's used to seeing a certain look in the mirror. And she had a jawline that could cut glass. Okay. It was really, really sharp. So therefore it gives me kind of some sort of structure to go, okay, where are we today? Where did she start from? So there I can kind of fill in the pieces. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the first thing that I see on her, and I told her this, she's got phenomenal skin. Literally this woman is blessed. So there are several videos that I've included about skincare and all this. And, a big portion of this is the blessings that we receive. And she is definitely blessed. She's got beautiful skin for her age. Okay. Now, as I kind of break her up, top 1/3, middle 1/3, bottom 1/3. So she's got a great brow. The structure of her brow looks great. It's way above the orbital rim. The only thing that I see on her is just this little bit of excess skin right here. And just removing that excess skin is just going to give her back her beautiful almond-shaped eyes. So she showed me her photos of herself before, and she's got really almond-shaped eyes. So we want to kind of re-establish that. Now, when I look at this section right in here, one of the things that I noticed is she's lost a little bit of volume right there. Now, part of that volume loss is from the loss of this fat pad as it falls down. But even then, even if I lift it back up to where it's supposed to be, you can see that there's a very minimal hollow in that area. So as I always like to do is always add a little bit of fat to every facelift. It's what I look at it as is icing on top of a cake. Okay, you can build the most beautiful cake in the world. Without icing, it looks a little naked. So that's my fat that I really want to address right here. Now, the other thing I'd like to kind of point out here is she also has a little bit of loss of volume right in here. So we're going to fix that. And her main issue is this right here. So we're going to sharpen up her jawline. She's got a little bit of fullness right in here. So we're going to snatch that. That's the 2024 word I learned. And then we're going to give her sharp neckline again. And as an oh, by the way, okay, we're going to give her some cute lips. So as we all age, we lose some of the collagen and elastin, which increases the distance between this point to this point right here. And she is not asking me for big honking lips. She just wants natural. So we're going to do just a minimal upper lip lift and just a little bit of a lower lip lift to give her just a baby pout so that she has some balance to her face. And the last thing that I wanted to add to her, just to blasted off into out of the solar system is I'm going to do a little bit of a chemical peel. She's the perfect skin type. She's got perfect skin. So we're going to hit a grand slam home run on her. So that's kind of how I look at somebody's face and figure out kind of what my thoughts are, what I want to do, and stay within this box of getting natural results, but still something that she goes, wow, looks awesome.
Can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so beyond excited.
All right, let's go do it.
Okay.
All right, so you'll see her journey. She's going to also shoot some videos, as she has said, of her kind of private thoughts and some of her feelings. We'll smash them all together so you can see like an entire journey and kind of the unadulterated behind the scenes look of her thought and her journey as she goes through this. Okay, so thanks everyone.
What was the reason for you taking the decision to do a facelift? What is the motivation?
When I looked in the mirror, all I noticed was, my neck and jowls. I had jowls, and it was just, I wanted to get that taken care of. And then when I met you, that was it for me. He was so thorough. I mean, extremely thorough. I was in front of the mirror, and he was just telling me, what do you want? What do you think you need? He listened to me, and they told me what would be good to achieve what I wanted.
What are you expecting from yourself? What are you expecting from us?
I can already tell that I'm going to have a good result. I know I'm very swollen right now because it is, less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see the final result.
Yesterday, you just gave me a goosebump, and you give me a shock in my system when you were talking after your facelift. I actually couldn't believe that you were the person we're talking, because I have never witnessed something like this in my life. It's a great experience.
The electric's been a huge part of this because I used it 3 times already.
This is the rationale for why we do it this way. Anything that I can do to up the experience, I like to optimize for every little thing that I do. From a surgical technique standpoint, optimization. From an anesthesia standpoint, optimization. But this whole box after surgery, before Elixir, I had nothing. I had a little massage, I had some arnica, bromelain, don't take aspirin. I mean, that's all I really had. When Ewan came and kind of showed me the science to this, I was like, okay, if I care about my patients, I want them to get up and at them. If I'm doing all of this work in the OR and I'm doing all of this work in anesthesia, it was like no brainer.
So thank you so much for this, and best of luck with your healing journey, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He'll see you in a month. I'm going to see you in 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
So here we have our patient. She is post-op day 3. So just the beginning of post-op day 3. We did her surgery on Monday. We got done at about 6:15 p.m. Today is Thursday morning. It's roughly around, 9 a.m. So right at the beginning of post-op day number 3. So a couple of things. So she's had now 3. She's finished 3 of the post-operative cellular repair treatments with Elixir MD. Okay, so you can tell that she has a pretty decent amount of swelling in here. Most of that swelling, actually, what she doesn't realize is actually from the chemical peel that we did at the very end of her case. So, but when you take a look at the rest of her face and neck, especially in this area, she actually has no bruising, which is fantastic. Okay, so there's no additional pockets of bruising or anything, and this is kind of, you can see that if I had done her case exactly the same way pre-Elixir MD, she would have definitely had bruising and yellowness that kind of went all the way down into this area. So there's a very significant delta that Elixir has brought to the practice in terms of how patients are healing. Now, and I'm going to throw her under the bus a little bit. So a couple of other things that I think that there is a definitive where our practice, Elixir, all this stuff comes together. So normally when I saw patients like this, who I did a full facial rejuvenation, my original post-operative protocol would be to see them on post-operative day number 1, and then I would repeat and see them at post-operative day number 5. Okay, that was the standard protocol that we used to do. However, now with Elixir MD, we're seeing them at postoperative day number 1, 3, 5, 7. Now, how does that change things? I think the important aspect of this is as follows. When we give preoperative instructions to our patients, we actually give them a small novella. In that novella, there is a form or a diagram which shows the psychological status of a patient and swelling and so on and so forth. So normally, post-operative swelling hits its maximum at about post-operative day number 3 to 4 after surgery. That's its normal course. And where are we?
3.
So we hit it. So she was freaking out a little bit, and which is a very normal protocol for our patients. Okay, I mean, if you've never seen yourself and you're swollen and the such, I mean, there's a little bit of shock factor. This is a very normal thing. This is not abnormal. We see it all the time. However, now with Elixir, so what's happened is she's coming into the office, whereas she would have normally been freaking out at home. Okay, so now I get to see her here. I get to talk to her. I get to kind of tell her, hey, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. She feels better. And not only has she feels better, that change in mental profile, psychological profile is helping patients, I think, heal better as well. Because I think the mental aspect of things is definitely a factor in postoperative healing. Your thoughts?
Oh, I'm so grateful that I got to come in today and talk to you because, you know, you just don't know. I mean, you only get one facelift, and so you just don't know. And so I'm just grateful to know that I'm right on track, and I am in a Facebook group, and there is tons of bruising, and so I don't see the bruising on me, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, and it's going to help your process.
And I know now the swelling is normal. Day 3 is the worst, and so, like you said, I'm at the beginning of day 3, so I expect swelling tomorrow as well. And then I think after that, it's going to just be even kill and just get better and better. So I'm super excited, and I'm happy to have the pep talk.
So, couple things. So just so everyone knows what's coming up ahead on her. So what I've done today is I just cleaned up all of her incisions. She had a little bit of crusted blood. I tell patients not to deal with it too much, just have a light shower. And the reason for that is they don't know how intense to clean things. So since she came in today, Elliot kind of cleaned everything up for her. I've already started taking some of her sutures out from her lip lift. Drains are already out. Okay, she had almost very little drain output, so drains are already out. Today is Thursday. I'm going to see her on Saturday. So Saturday, I'm going to go ahead and probably take out the balance of those sutures right there. I may start taking out sutures around her ears, and she will get another cellular repair treatment on Saturday. All right, so that's kind of the plan of action.
Sounds great to me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
Lord.
I got that loud.
She's gone through the process. She is post-op day number 10. Wait, repeat that. Post-op day number 10. That's it.
That's correct.
10. After a full-on 4D facelift with the chemical peel, which I don't do with every 4D facelift, but she was the ideal client for this. So we did a 4D facelift with the chemical peel, and she's 10 days post-op. And topping it all off, we did the entire Elixir MD protocol on her. And I think there's some videos of her Elixir MD protocol as some of the as the treatment progressed. So kind of recapping, as I've used on several videos, there's 3 parts to the Elixir MD protocol. Number 1 is the detox. The detox starts at stage 1 to kind of cleanse the skin. Part 2 is the yellow treatment protocol, which helps the process of healing. And she had her final one today, which is really going to kind of turbo boost the skin and tissues to continue that healing process. All right. So a couple of cool things about her, okay? So just for full disclosure and all that kind of stuff. So literally, she has come in today. She had her light treatment done today. We put a little bit of makeup on her just so that she kind of feels like she can get up and at 'em and do all her stuff. And I'm going to let her tell you about her experience through the whole thing. So the things that I find that are amazing. Okay, so why am I recommending the Elixir MD to patients as well as her or other patients So in my hands, prior to Elixir coming into my office, okay, me getting Elixir, this result to get to this stage would probably be in the ballpark of at least 14 to 15 days. Okay, so that's about the time frame. Okay, so me being a science nerd and a math nerd, so we're here on day 10. So 4 out of 14, that's almost a 30% reduction in bruising swelling time. So the only things that I think, for example, if I had to send her out into the world to go work or whatever, the only things that I really see that would have stopped her if she had a very face conscious type of environment, she's still peeling a little bit from the chemical peel. Other than that, I mean, she could really wear makeup and go out and about and do her gig. So take it away. How was your experience? I mean, and I'm going to even throw her under the bus. She was a very nervous Nellie. So she was definitely nervous when I told her we're going to do this under local anesthesia. There was a little bit of fright, and I'm okay. I get this all the time. So what was your thought through the process? You're on the other side of the mountain now.
Well, when I came in, I did not know that you did it only under local, and
I don't do it only under a local.
Oh,
I
you
offer
don't?
it both ways, but
Oh,
99% of the time I do it under local.
Oh, okay.
And I recommend that.
Right. And so when you recommended that, that sounded like such a great thing to me, because I had surgery in July and I didn't want to really be put under again since I'm 57 years old. And I know after a certain age, it can be kind of scary.
Does she look 57, guys?
Thank you. Thanks to you. And so, yeah, when I came in, I was having neck bands and all kinds of jowls, and I was definitely looking my age, and just so grateful. I feel like my life's been given back to me. And but when the lidocaine wore off the first day, the next morning, I did feel some pain under here, but I never got any bruising at all. I hadn't taken a pain pill because I'm really not into pain pills, but I found that I only needed them the first day, maybe the first day and a half, and then after that I just did Tylenol, and I haven't done Tylenol in days. I only did that for like the second, third, and fourth day. And so besides that, I've had zero bruising. My peel, which I do, I feel like the Elixir had something to do with it. It was just so perfect. And I just feel so grateful. The whole experience has involved a lot of pain, and it hasn't involved any yellow or any color bruising. And so...
So I'm going to ask you some pointed questions.
Sure.
Before we started, when you saw yourself, honestly speaking, okay, you don't have to blow sunshine up my skirt. What did you think you looked like? You showed me your photos today on your phone of what you looked like. What did you think you looked like in terms of age-wise?
Honestly...
Before we started.
I thought I looked better than I did now looking back at my before photos.
So you've crossed the mountain. So what do you think you look like? Okay, so you have your chronological age, which you divulged. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think you looked like, and what do you think you look like today?
As far as age goes, well, I've always taken care of my skin, so
you had great skin.
I don't think, people didn't guess me to be my age, but I could see in the mirror that I definitely was. So I feel like that you've literally taken like 20 years off my life. 20 years off my age.
So what do you think you feel like today?
Today, I feel like I look like I'm in my 30s.
Okay, so which is very interesting. She used that analogy because I was actually planning on doing another video. I have another patient who's kind of in the same boat, and I was kind of going to create a video called 50 going on 30.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that I think are really cool and interesting. So in this concept of the 40 facelift, okay, so why do we call it the 40 facelift? So I'm a bit of a science geek, you know that. So the fourth dimension is time. Okay. So the 4D facelift really is the concept of aging in reverse. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not only do we lift all the tissues up, that's part one. Okay. So that does a lot of it. Okay. But then the second aspect that I want to do, like on you specifically, I did use some of your stem cells when I got your fat.
Oh, really? Wow.
Okay. So that really helps the tissues to actually regenerate.
Wow.
Okay. And you're only seeing this portion of the result thus far.
Oh.
So this is still yet to go. You've seen the bulk of the kind of like, it's like building a house. You've seen the house kind of go up, the framing's done, and now I'm doing finishing touches. You're still seeing it, but you've seen a small portion, so you're excited, but this is still elementary in the whole process. So there's a whole lot yet to come.
Wow.
So that's why it's called a 4D facelift, because using her stem cells, using things like fat transfer in order to change volume, all of these things is all attempts at moving this aging protocol back. And the peel, the thought process on the peel was exactly the same thing. So you had good skin to start with. I wanted to further
Oh my gosh, it's
trigger
like
that
fresh.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wanted
everything.
to trigger that whole collagen making process and the whole 9 yards, so that at the end of all this, you're not only left with this beautiful structure, but your skin looks kind of that glowing, fresh,
Oh, it
dewy,
does.
blah blah blah. So that was the whole thing. Like I can really see, like right in this area, right in here, between the peel plus the fat. I mean, you almost have nothing
I
right
know. My husband, before my facelift, he's like, kind of look at me and he's like, so is this facelift going to take care of these crow's feet? And I said, no, John, it's just going to pull everything up. It's not going to take care of that. That's for Botox. And he's like, is it going to take care of, and he just kept picking at me. And I was like, no, that's not what a facelift does. But it did. It took care of everything.
Well, I mean,
it
some
took care
people-
of all over. I mean, everything that he was kind of picking on me about, it's all taken care of. And so
Good.
I'm just so thrilled. I do feel like it's just like glass. I mean, just like so perfect.
Yeah, so much so you got scared with even the light today,
I didn't
wanting
want
to hurt it.
No, I was like, I'm protecting this with everything. And so, yeah,
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to actually. So the next time we're going to see her is in about 3 weeks to a month, and she said like she's almost going to miss us.
I
That's how
am gonna miss
frequently
y'all.
She comes in, but I can't wait to see the progress, because
Oh my gosh.
you still have. You're going to see this as this kind of continues down the pike, and it's going to be a pretty amazing transformation.
Y'all will always own a piece of my heart.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
because
it.
I swear, I'm just so grateful to
Well,
you.
thank you. I appreciate it.
And to the whole team.
Cool. We all work together. This is the only way we can do this.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So I hope this helps people out there in terms of things that I think really gave her this result, okay, is one, she's healthy, okay. Two, there's a lot of things that are going on in the operating room. It's impossible for me to kind of go through every single one of this. There's a lot of science and the techniques. Three, I think Elixir added a lot to this entire package in terms of allowing her to heal quicker.
Oh, yeah.
When patients heal quicker, they feel better quicker, and they have their mental psychological status also improves much more quickly.
Oh, it's like a little present every day to go and look in the mirror and see what changes. It it changes even from morning to night, to afternoon to night.
So I'm going to interrupt you for a
excited.
second. You definitely know we're in Texas if you just heard her and she says, "I saw the mirror." Okay, you know we're in Texas now. So in case there was any question about where this video was recorded, it was recorded in Texas.
Okay, y'all.
There you go. Own it. All right. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. I swear I'm just forever grateful.
Awesome.
So we've got Becca here. So we just calculated Becca is a little over 4 months from surgery. Okay, so take it away. So we've recorded some videos of you, I think, on post-op day 1 and 3 and so on and so forth. So how have the last 4 months been? And just tell us.
To tell you, at first it was an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I was very worried about how it was going to come out, just at the beginning, and now I'm absolutely thrilled. And 14 days post-op is when I started really seeing the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, wow. I don't even care how this comes out. I like myself better than I was before, no matter what. But things have gotten better and better and better. And you kind of told me that, but things would get better over time, and they have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm thrilled.
So, am I allowed to share your age?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I share my procedures.
Well, you're going to share your procedures, but as I said, so so for the sake of transparency, so she just shared with me a little caveat that her nail lady told her that she looks like she is 40. She guessed 40. And you want to share how old you actually are?
Well, I will be 58 in June.
Exactly. I mean, I think you're rocking it. You are absolutely freaking rocking it.
Thanks to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. All right. So what all did you have done?
Okay, so I had a deep plane facelift, a deep plane neck lift. I had a TCA peel.
A deep TCA peel.
Yes. I had a lip lift. And I know there's something else.
Fat.
Oh, yes. I had the fat under the eyes, which literally made my skin like gloss. I mean, it's been amazing. The TCA peel is something I would recommend to anyone getting a facelift. I mean, yes, it's a little brutal at the very, very beginning. It's so worth it. It does cause a little more swelling at the beginning.
Yep.
But 1,000% worth it.
And she had a deep neck lift for.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So let's start at the beginning, Becca. What actually brought you in to see me?
Well, I was not liking what I saw in the mirror. I was seeing aging, and I wasn't used to looking like that. And so I just wanted to get myself rejuvenated.
Yeah. And a couple of things that I think are kind of very special about Becca's case. Number one, I mean, I guess this is not special. We do 99% of our cases this way. We did it under local anesthesia.
Oh, yes, local anesthesia. But yeah, to go back for a second, I was seeing jowls.
Yeah.
I had jowls right here, and my neck, I was seeing all these lines, and I was set down. I mean, and so it's just so absolutely wonderful because I don't have jowls anymore. See?
I know.
It's just...
You just have this beautiful long neck. Yeah.
I'm just so happy. And so I did it under local, and I wasn't sure what that was going to be like, but I'd had a surgery where I had to be put under about 6 weeks prior, so really didn't want to be put under again. And it was...
Oh, yeah, you remember.
Right, yeah. And so this was a little treat for me because I had kidney cancer, and I had part of my kidney removed, and it was just awful. And so this was like, you know what, I'm going to treat myself now. And so it's just been wonderful. And so I was put up, so I took some, the cocktail for the local. And I just kind of remember I kept going to sleep and waking up, going to sleep and waking up. And I remember I kept being embarrassed because I would wake up I'd sleep with my mouth open. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Why did I? And so I'd wake myself up, but I slept through most of it, and I really don't remember a whole lot.
Awesome. When you get up in the morning, okay, and you look in the mirror, what is the first thing you see?
Oh, I'm just so happy I have the sleep.
What's the first thing you see? First thing, and you go, I know what I see when I see you. I know the first thing I see. So what is your first thing that you see?
Well, I've been waking up, pretty happy. I noticed, that I look a lot younger, and I have a length mirror that I go to the restroom in the morning and come back, and I'm very happy.
So can I tell you what I see first? Cheeks. That's the first thing I see about you. Because remember earlier you were kind of down here. It's and you have it kind of like full in here, and just by pulling all this, lifting it up, your cheeks look freaking fantastic. That with a little bit of the fat, I think looks amazing. And yes, I remember we did a lip lift on you, but that thing has healed so well and so naturally, like you can't even tell.
No, no one, none of my friends even knew that I had a lip lift. And so, I mean, very few even know that I had a facelift. I mean, it's just so crazy. Nobody knows I've had just like a couple of my friends, nobody knows I've had a facelift. And I was so scared. One of my notes is I do not want the windblown look. And so that was one of my number one criteria when I was going to get a facelift. And I didn't want the windblown look. I didn't want people to look at me, because if you go to some of these galas that I go to, it's very wealthy people, and you can look across and so many women look fake. It's like you can tell they've had work done. I didn't want that. I didn't want people to look at me and know I have work done. And so, you completely succeeded in doing that, because I feel like my look is natural and no one would ever know that I had work done. And that to me is amazing, because that was my biggest fear.
So I'm going to share a little bit about the way I think about things. Okay. So, I always tell you, you're going to look natural. You're going to look natural. And this is like surgery, right? So even in surgery, I'll tell you, before surgery, I was like, hey, listen, you're not going to feel bad. I promise you. But then there's still this anxiety, right? And I told you, there's nothing I can do to get rid of that anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay. So similarly, and then once it's all over, then you're like, that wasn't that bad.
Right.
Okay. Now, similarly, you have this anxiety. I don't want to look windblown. I don't want to look artificial. Blah, blah, blah. There's this box, right?
Yeah.
And I can prove it to you and show you this picture and this picture, but it's never going to hit home until you get to live in your own body.
Absolutely.
Right? So the way I look at this is I personally don't like the artificial look. It's not a look that I like. So, I don't know if you remember this, but during surgery in your post-op period, I just told you to your face, I said, I'm sorry, your face is mine.
Yeah.
Remember? I was like, your face is mine.
Yeah.
Okay. And I own it. And it sounds like a very egotistical thing to say. And I recognize it sounds really bad, but I think you understand what I'm saying. You want me to do what I think is going to look the very best on you.
Exactly. And you were so into it and so meticulous and such a perfectionist. I would not want to be in anyone's care but you. I mean, you're amazing.
Would you mind? Okay. Do you mind if I share what your husband does for a living?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm sharing to the world here. So she kind of threw a little, brick on me and said, hey, my husband's an attorney. And, you automatically think, you got a little tension there, right? Okay. But whatever it is, it's natural, right? And then you go, okay, that's fine. It is what it is. And you go about still doing things the same way that you know how. And I told you to your face, I was like, listen, I'm going to consent you. This is the legalese and this. But at the end of the day, when you're in that operating room, I'm just going to do what I think looks right. Exactly. Okay. And that was a very hard thing sometimes. And I'll admit, like when I was younger, that was so hard for me to do. Now I just own it. It's me. It's how I work things, blah, blah, blah. Right. And as long as we have an open conversation, we know what each other wants, we're good to go.
Yes.
So you went through Christmas and you went through gala season. I've been watching you on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do your closest friends who know think about it?
Well, I look at my past pictures now and, oh my gosh, my hair was like up to here. It was darker. I was fat. I had these it was like awful. I was the typical middle-aged woman, heading into my senior years, honestly. And I'm just like, wow. I just feel like I have life's been given to me many years. It's so wonderful. And so it makes, having my face done makes me want to work out regularly. It makes me want to dress nice. I mean, like it's given me a whole new,
I look different. You look different. I mean, and I'm not just talking about your physical looks. Like you walk with a bit more sass when you walked in today. Right? I mean,
it's true. It's true. And I feel pretty. I feel confident. And so it's helping me in every area of my life, honestly.
That's awesome. A lot of patients say the same thing. And when I was in residency,
Yeah.
I would never have believed that you can fix people's brains or the way they think with a surgical scalpel.
You can.
Okay? Until you start doing this and getting involved. Like, I am such a part of your guys' families, right? Looks like you're a part of my family now because, I mean, there's a while that we see each other almost every day.
Yeah.
Right?
So true.
And then I know your husband, I know your friend, I mean, because of the people bringing you in and all these types of various things. And you really get to know every person's story. And that's part of why we're doing this, is because I like to put these stories. Becca has a story, Sherika has a story, you know, Susan has a story, and putting everybody's story, because I think it's easy to just say, hey, I'm a surgeon, let's cut so. But I think the other part of enjoying my patients, it makes it so much more.
I do remember I would wake up throughout and you would just be so into it. And I'll never forget that. You're such a meticulous.
I'm OCD, I know.
You were so into it. I was like, and you didn't even eat lunch. I mean, you were just into it.
I don't feel hungry.
I know, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy for you. You look out of control awesome.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm just it's the greatest honor, the greatest. So thank you. First of all, thank you for being my patient. Thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for sharing your story. Absolutely. And you don't recognize how you help all these other chicks out there, because now more and more women are watching our journeys and they're going, I love the fact that there's real people.
Yeah,
so
it's called for people that's feeling down in the dumps. I mean, just get a surgery. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, I mean, just for, so I don't get hate mail out here, in today's world. I'm not advocating, if you feel down in the dumps, call Dr. Athre, okay? But I think the point is that I think there's a lot of people who look at themselves and go, I am so freaking energetic on the inside.
Yeah, and feel the same on the out as you do on the inside, so you kind of want to match that.
Right. And that's, and we want to make you, like, as I said, our goal is not to make a new Becca. Our goal is to take Becca back, 17 plus years, which is awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, cool. Thank you again. And everybody out there, 7.8 billion people on Earth, thank you for sharing your story.
If you enjoyed watching Becca's journey and her transformation, please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It'll also keep you up to date when we post more great content out here. Thank you so much for watching our channel.